Well, that was Sydney a few moments ago with a spectacular display, and these are now the live scenes from Sydney. Pretty incredible stuff. It is set to be the largest fireworks display yet, featuring 8.5 tons of pyrotechnics and 35,000 shooting comets. The show is set to include new wave effects where the colour moves across the display rather than the traditional burst from the centre of the firework, and pulsating fireworks which will strobe in various colours. Now, the weather out there has apparently not been brilliant. There have been some thunderstorms, and there were a couple of hours ago, I think, but I think the millions of people watching, a 1.5 million audience watching the display from the local harbour. They weren't deterred by the rainstorms and the weather. I think many of them had probably been there quite some time to nab their place. They weren't going to give that up too easily. But globally, an audience of 1.1 billion will be watching this. Really, traditionally, although Auckland had already welcomed in the new year, this really is the first big display, and Australia well aware that the world are watching them, and this is quite something. Pretty impressive stuff there. Now, the vantage points there in Sydney are closed off pretty early, as they are in other places, of course, around the world, including London. Hundreds of thousands counting down there to the New Year's Eve party. There's going to be 2 firework displays scheduled for 9 and midnight their time, but according to one agency, the aerial flyover display had to be cancelled because of rain and dozens of lightning strikes. But I don't think the weather is dampening spirits there as they watch this impressive display, said to be the largest yet, featuring 8.5 tons of pyrotechnics. Now, when it comes to statistics, Sydney holds the biggest New Year's Eve fireworks show, with over 80,000 individual fireworks being let off on the Harbour Bridge alone. As I said, an audience of 1.5 million watching the display from the local harbour, and approximately 1.1 billion watching globally. And the midnight fireworks run for 12 minutes in reference to the 12 months of the year.